As you can see, the cucumber patch is rather large. It's about 40 feet long, and at this point almost, well, 10 feet wide. It's kind of encroaching on our carrots here. This area right here that you're seeing, that was where our beets were, and of course once they get going you just gotta harvest those. I'll get to the tomatoes because that's the reason why I went and got my camera. A little bit of corn there, stunted because the deer got a hold of it first of the season, so it's not quite as big as we'd like it to be or the other crops are. So I had to go get the camera because of the produce that's coming out of my garden. Monster and I are so surprised at the produce. This is probably the 8th barrel or bucket that we've taken out, and I ran out of space in this bucket and had to go get another 5-gallon. Didn't quite fill that up. Quick look. Here's our shepherd peppers, and some of them are really getting red. This one in particular I'm going to probably harvest right now. It's fantastic. A big brother right there. Right behind it, of course, is a beefsteak tomato, not quite yet ready. Again, I had to get another pail. I thought I was going to do okay with just the one, but it's been a couple of days since I've been in the garden because of an engagement that we had out of town, and I was worried, I'd have to pick this last night at 10 o'clock at night, but there was a skunk running around in the backyard, so didn't want to find myself in here with a flashlight and him chasing me out of it. So, at any rate, this is just a little small pail. It's not 5-gallon. It's one of those drywall mud pails, and I've already filled it up from the other row. But then when I got to this side, I thought I'd show you guys what's going on. This is just exploding. Every plant has produced a beautiful ripe tomato, as you can see. It's doing fantastic and all the way along. I'll come back over here real quick. Another row here. I can't believe it. These are the smaller of the plants, so they won't produce as many, but as you can see, the quality is definitely there. Let's take a look at these three. I'm going to harvest those now, put it into a nice pot, and see what we can do with them. Make a spaghetti sauce or something of that nature. Isn't that fantastic? There's one way back there. Look how red. It's beautiful. So we got a few more peppers over here, the shepherd peppers. They're coming along slowly, but some of them are starting to red up. This one's not quite ready yet for harvest. And then married right behind the shepherd, we put them in a strategic location. These are hot peppers. These are banana peppers that may or may not take the paint off your car if you're not careful with it. And I'll be sure to keep these ones separate. So one of the things that I didn't get to this year, and I promised myself I will, I didn't stake my peppers. And if you notice, I've got, oh boy, I don't know, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, call it a dozen peppers on one plant, one single plant. And you can see 2 of them are certainly ready for harvesting. Oh, just broke a leaf. 2 of them are definitely ready for harvesting here. The thing is, though, there's so much weight, they're leaning down. And I think, a little bit of waste, if I'm not careful with this, I've got to be careful that they don't touch the ground, because that's where they're going to, they will spoil. Here's another one. 3 of them are ready to harvest. And what we'll do is we'll be jarring these up, and I'll show you the produce of that. And all in here. Now this section here, I'll come out of the sunlight really quickly. This section here has our cherry tomatoes, and I'll see if I can just jump inside. And you can see how beautiful they hide really down low. But look at the size of these cherry tomatoes. Absolutely gorgeous. And you want tasty. Unbelievable. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. And we have, this is well into the season for these guys. And they just pop right off. You don't even have to pull on the plant or anything. They're so nice and clean. It's a beautiful sample of what's inside of this. Now what's happened, I'll come back a little bit. What's happened is that this has kind of turned into a bit of a bush. And you can see it's just lying down, and it's lying down on this side where there's the peppers here. I'll get a little closer. You can see the peppers right in there. And on the other side, we have onions. So this particular bush, I'll call them, has grown to unbelievable size. I was told that if you wanted to do this any other way, you would have to string it upwards, and I think these plants are in excess of 6 to 8 feet long. As you can see, they're starting to extend out, and you can see where they hide their produce way deep down. But look at how red. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. First one is on the left. The last two I just picked, these are well up the vine. And they are just, I'm going to have to go get a basket for all of these. You can see a couple of them way down there. I just wanted to show you the peppers. These are not the hot peppers. These are banana peppers. But they're not the hot section. So we're going to pickle these. Maybe I'm going to have that curled up one for dinner. And here's that little pail. I'll just step back just a... It's full, so I ran out of space, and I started filling it up. Cucumbers are underneath there. So I've got a lot of tomatoes. Here's the cucumbers again. Here's an example of 2 prize tomatoes. It's unbelievable. And just an example. Look at the size of this thing. A little dirty, but I mean, these are fantastic tomatoes. Wonderful, beautiful, ripe. You can squeeze them. You can feel they just want to be cut open and eaten. Over here we've got a couple of green tomatoes. These are off of sucker growth I just realized I had, and I'm gonna try a recipe my dad has. Pickle these guys up. Green fried tomatoes, maybe. Beautiful in the winter. So here's the product of all those tomatoes. That 10, I guess it would be 10 gallons of tomatoes. Of course, it boils down to 8 jars. It really is a chunky. It doesn't look like it right here, but it's just a diced tomato, and the sauce obviously gives it the texture, and the seeds are all in and boiled off most of the water. There's a little bit of liquid, you can see it moving in there, but this is meant for making a sauce later on in January and February. So we got 8 jars here, 1 liter jars, and we're going to put them on the shelf and enjoy them when the snow is flying.